Now, Taiwan's Coast Guard has detained a Chinese crude cargo ship over suspicions it may have severed an undersea telecommunications cable. The ship, which is registered in Togo, was intercepted between Taiwan's main island and the outlying Penghu Islands. Taiwanese authorities have detained 8 crew members, and they're now investigating whether a nearby undersea cable was intentionally cut. Taiwan has reported 5 cases of undersea cable malfunctions so far this year, and Taipei has raised concerns China could damage its communications cables in a bid to blockade or seize the island, which Beijing claims as its own. We can bring in Dr. Elizabeth Freund Larus, fellow at the Atlantic Council's Indo-Pacific Security Initiative. Elizabeth, welcome to DW. Thank you so much for your time. Can I start by asking you how likely it is that this incident is Chinese sabotage?
Well, there's a saying that if it, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it is a duck. So, I believe it's quite likely. We have seen China do this kind of thing in other areas. Chinese ships have, cut cables up in the Baltic, and they've done this before, around Taiwan and up by Japanese disputed islands as well. And so, it appears that this is certainly a calculated move. China increasingly is putting more and more pressure on Taiwan. Before Speaker Nancy Pelosi went over to Taiwan in summer of 22, China kind of limited itself to some circumnavigation, patrols by its, some of its jets. Well, now it's a regular occurrence. Chinese jets regularly cross the informal but median line in the Taiwan Strait. They're increasingly sending ships out to encircle Taiwan. And beyond that, they're carrying out more and more naval exercises, which really are rehearsals for, if not invasion, for a complete embargo of Taiwan. As a matter of fact, in October, when Taiwan was selling the Republic of China National Day, China carried out a complete practice of a blockade encircling Taiwan. So these are part of China's gray zone activities, which are aggressive maneuvers that just fall short of all-out war.
So you talked about China wanting to put pressure on Taiwan, but you also used the word invasion. So are you saying that the reason China is doing this is because of its long-term goal of invading Taiwan?
Absolutely. If not invade, it certainly has plans to carry out a blockade, and to not only make the Taiwan economy collapse, but to affect public opinion and morale. If the people on Taiwan see that their government cannot defend them and make them secure, then faith in the government will collapse. And that obviously would be a very bad, scenario for the government on Taiwan and its ability to counter any type of Chinese maneuvers.
Now, Taiwan has reported 5 cases of undersea cable malfunctions this year alone. If China is responsible, is this a sign, would you say, that China is ratcheting up these kind of activities and might be planning something worse in the near future?
Absolutely, absolutely. U.S. Navy admirals are of the belief that these so-called exercises, these acts of aggression, they are rehearsals. In warfare, almost always kinetic presages kinetic, right? So the non-kinetic presages kinetic. So the non-kinetic would be cutting cables, cutting communications, blackout of infrastructure, and before the bombs and the missiles start flying. And so what they are doing is they're practicing, they're rehearsing, they are trying to affect the Taiwan government. There is a significant, but very small, but significantly vocal part of the population that is saying, we just really do need to join, China. But also, I believe that this is sending a signal to President Trump in his second administration to see what his policies might be regarding Taiwan. He has sent mixed signals. However, most recently, he did announce that there will be an arms package for Taiwan of HIMARS missiles. And also, he exempted Taiwan and the Philippines from the freeze of USAID funds. And so there might be like another dimension here that is perhaps the U.S. By the way, I do want to mention, U.S. State Department under Secretary of State Rubio just deleted from its Taiwan fact page that Taiwan does not support, that the United States does not support Taiwan independence. And they no longer refer to Taiwan as the Republic of China. It's just Taiwan. China is just China now, not Republic of China either. But it's interesting, these subtle changes to the Taiwan fact page.
Dr. Elizabeth Freund, Larus, thank you so much for your analysis and for your time today.
You're welcome.